You're watching the Wrestling Nerd broadcast. Now here's your hosts, Tom, Nick, Ryan, and Dave. It's you, it's me, it's NRD. It's you, it's me, it's NRD. Uh-huh. Let's start the show.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is you, it is me, it is TNND, and welcome to episode 115 of the Wrestling Nerd broadcast. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. It is the go-home show for the Wrestling Nerd broadcast Mania. We are on the road. We are at the final stop on the Tom Says Highway to Mania. But before we can get to the King, Spaceman George, taking on Tom Says Hi, Sasso, we have a great show for you tonight. But before we get to that, if you haven't already done so, make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss a second of this great content. And also, while you're at it, you might want to head over to patreon.com/WNRDB and join our Patreon. Any tier. You can do the $1 tier, you can do the $5 tier. Because as a thank you gift, guess what's finally in, ladies and gentlemen? We have them. The Slammers, we have the Pogs. They're in hand. They are amazing. They come to you as a $1 or $5 tier thank you gift and a welcome gift for joining our Patreon. And a lot of great other awards coming to you very soon with that. Also, in terms of spending our money on Pogs for you, we are also sponsoring another wrestling show. We sponsored Old Wrestling last summer, and now on April 15th in my backyard where I saw my very first wrestling match back in 1994 or 93, I forget what year it was, but it was 30 years ago at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center, now the Nashwaat Convention Center. Northeast Wrestling presents Spring Slam. It's going to have all the stars of Northeast Wrestling and, of course, a couple special guests from AEW. We've got Ricky Starks is going to be there. Takeshita is going to be there. Kurt Angle is going to be there. And most importantly, I'm going to be there. So come on down to Poughkeepsie, New York, Northeast Wrestling Spring Slam, April 15th. We are proud to be sponsoring that show, and it is going to be a great time. Speaking of a great time, WrestleMania. It has had a lot of great moments. It's had a lot of not so great moments. But to go home on the Tom Says Highway to Mania, we're going to steal a concept that I saw on WrestleFest that they have called the 3 count. They go through Wrestle Talk. Thank you. WrestleFest was Northeast Wrestling show that I went to at Sammy Guevara at. Thank you. But so basically, what they did was they went through all 37 WrestleManias, 38 WrestleManias, whatever we're at. And they described them all in 3 words or less. So what we did was we compiled a list of 15 matches, 5 were given by each of us. And so we're going to go around the room and do these 15 matches in 3 words or less. It's that simple. So if you like this concept.
I gotta say before we continue, as the one who's got the fire burning beneath my butt for WrestleMania, I just want to point out I am the WrestleMania king. I can tell you how long every match was to the second. I could totally tell you what WrestleMania every match was in, where the WrestleMania match was. I could tell you even heck who was refereeing the match. I'm so smart at this.
Well, folks, to see how smart Tom is, you're going to have to see him in his prediction contest in which the crown will be on the line against George later this week on this channel. Don't worry, we are going to hear from Tom and George later on in the show. But before that, we go to the 3 count. We go to our match card. So our very first match, and I believe I listed these in order of timeline. So our very first one, it's a 5-star classic. We go to Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada, the year 1993. The Mania number 9, Crush versus Doink.
WrestleMania 9 at the Caesar's Palace. In the early 90s. See, I know that.
Smart man. So Tom, why don't you go first?
Well, yeah. So 3 words?
3 words or less.
Yeah. Doink the Clown.
Okay, fair enough. Nick?
I have no recollection of this match. That's my word. It's more than 3. Right? Is it the one where he hangs upside down?
No. He had ripped his arm out in the build-up to this.
I don't remember this.
Wow. Way to go there. So you got nothing? First one, he's got nothing.
I don't remember this match.
Nick, don't remember. Boom, there you go. My 3 words, 2 doinks. Because there were 2 doinks at the end, baby. That's mine. I was trying to think of a way to get 3 words in there, but if I get a bonus word, was it 2 doinks?
It was comedic gold. It
really was. It truly was. It was fantastic. From comedic gold to innovation, we go to WrestleMania 10 at Madison Square Garden, where Tom was there.
Yeah, it was at Madison Square Garden.
Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon in a ladder match. Nick, why don't you go first on this one?
Okay, 3 words. Ahead of its time.
Yeah. That's 4 words. But I'll let you slide.
Ahead of time.
There we go. Match with ladder.
I'm gonna say Shawn's butt cheeks.
Ooh.
Yeah. I want to just side note on that. WrestleMania 10 at Madison Square Garden, WrestleMania 10 in New York. I was there. I was a child, and my father convinced me that Bill Clinton was there with IRS and $1 Million Man. So I was convinced that I was near Bill Clinton.
I'd like to change my 3 words. Not the best.
Tom said hi.
3 golden words to live by. So next match we'll go to. How about we go to WrestleMania 12, Anaheim, California. Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart in an Iron Man match. Tom, why don't you go first?
Yeah, so at WrestleMania 12, it was in Anaheim, California. And there was a match, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. It was like an Iron Man match. 3 words to really sum that up is so sorry, Ryan.
You took
my 3 words. My 3 words. I didn't want to go first. I just wanted to see if anybody else was saying it. My 3 words are Ryan's silly petition. I can't help but think of that match without thinking about Ryan. Nick, what are your 3?
I was gonna say sign the petition. Or don't.
Or don't.
or don't. Very long match.
MJF was better.
Well,
I mean, mainly because I got to watch it with Nick. I didn't watch the Iron Man match with Nick. I watched the AEW Iron Man match with Nick, so it was far better. We had popcorn and beer. It's great. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we made this list together. I'd like you to guess who put this one on our list. We go to WrestleMania 15, the Hardcore Championship, Shane McMahon versus X-Pac.
Yes. With Test in his corner.
Nick,
those are my words. Test in the corner.
Test in the corner. I gotta tell you, I took Test in school. It made me sit in a corner and do it. But Tom, what's your 3?
I mean, I honestly I couldn't tell you this match even actually happened. I'm gonna say Mean Street Posse.
Are you sure it was for the Hardcore Championship, not the European Championship?
It could have been for the year.
I think it was for the European Championship. Quite honestly,
I don't think
I'm looking it up right now. Hold on here.
All I remember from this match is that he had like the X-Punk jersey.
Yes, I'm almost certain that it was for the European Championship.
It's all the same thing.
It was indeed for the European Championship.
European Championship.
European.
Some Shane McMahon fan you are, you little jerk.
Who won the match? Maybe that's why I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Oh. What an awful representation of Shane.
We're doing so bad at this.
We really are. This segment probably won't continue much. Let's see. I gotta go. X-Pac, Shane McMahon. Who booked this? That's my 3 words. Who booked this?
Test.
Who booked this crap?
Was Test was in the corner though, right? Did you say that?
That's Test in the corner.
He died, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He did.
R.I.P.
Andrew Martin, I think, is
and all
really.
all of the testicles out there.
He passed his earthly test.
So this is ironically not the first time that this gentleman's name has come up on this broadcast. But we
Shane
have
McMahon.
no.
I thought he made it on the list twice. Oh.
He's on here several times. But we go to WrestleMania. We stay on WrestleMania 15 with another 5-star classic, Butterbean versus Bart Gunn.
Oh,
I'd like to go first. All-time classic. Because you know what? The whole brawl for all concept in execution, absolutely terrible. But you know what? You remember it. There's a lot of stuff that happened in the 90s that you don't remember. You remember the brawl for all.
It's true.
Shout out to Buff Bagwell. Hopefully he's getting along with Butterbean.
I'll go. I support Bagwell. It's funny. It's like I still talk about that phone call when Butterbean was trying to fight Buff on the phone before I got him on the show, and I'm like, I'm referring to Buff as like Mr. Bagwell. Like I'm like, Mr. Bagwell. He's like, it's Buff. I'm like, okay,
Marcus.
That's what he's going by now. He's not going by Buff anymore.
He ain't that buff anymore.
He's still pretty buff. I think
No,
it's just the relapse and back into sobriety. He's trying to figure out who Marcus Bagwell is.
Yeah, that's true.
Nick?
all I can remember is like complete letdown because they like built this thing up for so long and stuff, and then didn't Bart Gunn just get pretty much knocked out like right away and stuff, and it was just like womp womp, like it was like all of this was for nothing. Like, okay, you were the best fighter in the WWE locker room, then you got beat by a real fighter in like seconds, so then I mean all of y'all like that. Basically, it was just bad. They should have never done it.
I'd be interested what would happen if they did the Brawl for All today.
Who would be in it? Who's the 8-man field?
There's really like there's people that know how to fight. Like you put
is
Malachi
it cross
Black
promotion?
Baron Corbin.
Absolutely.
Baron Corbin's in there. Baron
Malachi
Corbin's
in there. Corbin's in there. You got to put Maki Ito in there.
Cesaro. Just Cesaro throwing hooks, uppercuts all day. He can't throw a jab to save his life. It's all uppercut offense.
You got to throw Ibushi in there.
Oh, you got to throw Shane McMahon in there.
I would put Moxley in it, honestly.
I don't think Mox would do well.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think he has that kind of stamina in him.
I don't think he can actually fight.
No, he's
Walter
for yeah.
Can you imagine Walter with a boxing glove?
Bailey.
Yeah, because they could do a females one.
Ooh, the brawlette for it all.
Yeah, throw Thunder Rosa in there.
Yes.
Dr. Britt Baker, BOX.
All right, what's next?
Let's see. Yeah, let us know, Jonathan Hodap. What's the 8-man field for the new Brawl for All?
The intergender Brawl for All.
Shout out to Andy. Why am I blanking on his name? Andy
Milanakis.
No.
Kaufman.
Yeah, thank you. I almost said. I kept saying. I wanted to say Andy Williams. Like Andy Williams.
I just want to shout out Margaret's idea that Andy Kaufman faked his own death just so that he can return to accept his WWE Hall of Fame.
Pretty wild if he did.
That's probably going to happen.
It would be the most on-brand thing ever.
Of
course he would do that.
Like, I would let Vince back into power only if that's happening, because I feel like Triple H would not have that kind of fun. Vince would be like, this is great shit, pal.
Andy, where have you been for 25 years?
Just waiting for my Hall of Fame.
Nobody
does that kind of long-term booking, but you're only going to find long-term booking like that here on the Wrestling broadcast. And with Andy Kaufman's Hall of Fame induction, that's the only time.
It all explains it. Andy Kaufman finally goes in the Hall of Fame. This was Vince. Remember how I said like break glass in case of emergency was the sale to Saudi Arabia? No. Break glass in case of emergency is Andy Kaufman's induction and acceptance into the Hall of Fame by Vince McMahon.
No, how old would Andy Kaufman be now? Would he be like really,
probably
really old?
probably in his 70s. I mean, Sting's still going at it, so why can't Andy
I don't
do a
know.
little bit?
Yeah, there we go.
So our next match, we go to WrestleMania 2000.
Uh-oh.
Triple H versus The Rock versus Big Show with versus Mick Foley with a McMahon in every corner.
Yes.
Shut up.
Hey, time out. Who, before I can answer this, who is in Shane's corner? So I have this properly.
I just realized I picked the Shane McMahon match.
Wait a second. Yes. Hold on. There were 4 McMahons in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Linda Tom, was there?
Is this the one where she gets out of the wheelchair? And
no. That was WrestleMania 17. Because so it was Stephanie was with Triple H, Shane was with Big Show, Vince was with The Rock, and Linda McMahon is like, no, Mick Foley deserves a WrestleMania main event. And so she was with Mick Foley.
I have no recollection of this either.
I have an interesting story about this. So I would like to use my 3 words as cable company screw job. So we tried to order this on Sunday. We tried to order this on Sunday night, right? And it like apparently went through, but like it didn't air on the cable channel, like the pay-per-view channel. So like I didn't know what was happening. I had the results screwed for me by a friend at school the next day. I was so pissed. I literally walked in. It was literally how you'd see it on a TV show. I was like, guys, don't say anything about WrestleMania. My cable really messed up. I'm really mad right now. So I've got to wait till tomorrow. Like it's when the replay was on Tuesday. So so we taped Raw, and so I could watch WrestleMania. But then my buddy comes up to me as soon as I say it to my friends. My one buddy comes in like, "Guys, do you believe Vince McMahon turned on The Rock?" And I turned around like, "Dude, the fuck."
So that was me every event because we had. Sorry, Dad, cover your ears if you're watching this. This is not my father would never do this, but we had a box of a certain color that would get something. So like we would return, he would tape it for me, and then I would watch it when I got home from school the next day and stuff. So literally every pay-per-view when I'm at school, I'm like, "Don't talk to me, get away from me!" Like it's middle school. This is middle school at the time for 2000. Don't talk.
So I guess the apple doesn't fall from the tree when you watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Not dot.
Oh man.
I got 3 words on this one.
Suck it.
R.I.P. Linda McMahon. I mean, she's not dead. That was the last good thing she could have ever done in her life was give Mick Foley a shot. She ended up being kind of crummy in real life. I'll say lots of talent. Those 4 wrestlers are very talented.
Yeah.
And I'm going to include Big Show in that because I think Big Show gets overlooked at his ability.
He is extremely underrated.
Is he the best? No. But like Big Show can work. So yeah, I'll say lots of talent.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Nick, how about you?
I would say
Shane McFucking-Man.
Yeah, Shane McMahon. I mean, it's all. Well, it's the Big Show.
So speaking of Shane McMahon, we go to WrestleMania 17, the street fight, father versus son. Nick, it's your boy. What do you got?
Is this the match that Linda McMahon
This is the Linda stands up.
All right, yeah. Well, I'm going to say greatest. Who won this match? I forget that. I'm not good with this.
I think Shane won.
Shane won, then greatest WrestleMania moment ever. That's too many words, but it was. Greatest moment ever. Not just
general moment.
In general.
Linda stands up. She rose
to home.
She stood out of her wheelchair. Not Linda Carpenter, Linda McMahon. It's completely okay.
I'm gonna say hit real close.
It's close to home.
I remember when me and my dad had a street fight and my mom stood out of her wheelchair. It was just crazy.
Another box on the pole match.
Another one that hits close to home. Of course, the true main event of WrestleMania 17. It is the gimmick battle royal at WrestleMania X7. Bobby the Brain is my 3 words. He was a goat on commentary in that. So, Tom, what do you got?
Repo Man Brawler next.
Not happening. Nick?
A match that happened.
I mean, like I love like the gimmick stuff. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
who I am. It's also always really sad to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love feeling like a kid again and seeing these guys and women back. But man, it is sad to watch.
That could have happened in a high school gym and no one would have thought any different of it.
Yeah.
But speaking of a match that is the opposite of taking place at a high school gym, it is Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25, because 26 was too obvious of a tell. So, Tom, what's your
Was that the Hell in a Cell match?
No, this was Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25. I'm sorry, the 25th anniversary.
Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25. 25, yeah. 25th anniversary.
It's like Shawn Michaels in the white. Like he was like
yes,
the angel
coming down.
Yeah,
down.
worst entrances ever.
Okay. Okay. Nick, how about you? Match that happened.
Taker almost. Oh no, that's going to be 4 words. I'm not good at the limiting of my words. Taker almost broke neck when he comes over the top and like
Tim Snuka catch.
Yeah. That's what I think of when I think of that match right away.
Greatest match ever. Fight me. It's the greatest match ever. That match made me feel so much emotion because I remember watching that with my family, and literally when like after the Sim Snuka catch and they're starting to count out the Undertaker, I am yelling at the TV like I'm on my knee like, not this way, not this way. He gets back and holy shit. I cursed in front of my dad and I never did that as a kid. Like everyone just has to stop to like realize the magnitude of this moment that I've cursed in front of my father. Granted, I'm like 22 when this happens.
I do remember watching the match. I later in Undertaker's career, and I consider that later. Like I was just over it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean worst entrance ever. Yeah, I know that's like controversial. People love it. I want the Heartbreak Kid. I don't want the angel from above, Shawn Michaels.
Yep. You needed that dickish Shawn Michaels. So let's see. Speaking of great matches and one of my favorite matches of all time, we're going to go to WrestleMania 29. I was there, baby. April 7th, 2013 at MetLife. We go to twice in a lifetime, The Rock versus John Cena. Nick, you go first.
First was better.
Why? Because you were there?
Because I was there.
Tom, what's yours?
We'll say incredible star power.
I'm going to go with I'm Sorry, Greg, because I sat next to my friend Greg, and he was a big Rock fan, and he's cheering loud for Greg. And when John Cena wins, I literally turn to him and just scream in his ear, "Let's go! Let's fucking go!"
I gotta say,
sorry to Greg for my behavior that day.
My least favorite catchphrase that's going on is "Let's go."
I was filled with emotion.
What about during this time? It was boots to asses.
Boots to asses. Team Bring It. Punk, Taker, main evented. But we go back to, speaking of The Undertaker, we go to WrestleMania 32 from Dallas, Texas. Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker, Heck in a Cell, the lockbox.
I'm just so happy Shane made the list so many times. This is awesome.
I'm gonna go with what's in box because that was all built up around that lockbox or whatever.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, it would never.
Nick, what about you? What's yours?
Shane off the cage.
Shane
I
off
think I can
cage.
think of
Sock?
in this match.
SOC? It's you, it's me, it's SOC. Tom, I can hear your eyes roll.
Shane should have won.
Always. Every
Stop.
match you ever
Okay.
fought.
Here's why.
Next.
Here's why. Shane was doing big stuff then. Would have been cool if Shane ended the streak.
That's what I was gonna say.
I would have lost my mind. The streak was already over at that point.
Was it?
Brought it back.
Yeah, it was WrestleMania 32. Streak ended at 30.
Has he won any more matches since then at a WrestleMania?
Who, Shane?
Undertaker, because it could have been the new streak.
No, he did. He won more matches. He beat John Cena at WrestleMania 34.
What about between when he lost to Brock Lesnar and when he won, or when he fought Shane McMahon? Was there any WrestleMania wins?
He beat Bray Wyatt at 31. He fought Shane at 32. Then he lost to Roman at 33.
Shane ended the 1-0 streak of the second streak. he could have ended that one. That's where I was good at that.
Speaking of streaks that ended, which I'll get to in my 3 words, WrestleMania 33, we have Bayley versus Charlotte Flair versus Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship, Fatal 4-Way Elimination Match, WrestleMania 33. Tom, it's your girl. Why not?
Bayley, the best.
Simply the best.
Yeah, it was good, Bayley. So yeah,
it was
Bayley the best. Nia Jax never needed to be in that match.
This is my words going to be why Nia? Why?
Why Nia Jax?
Why Nia Jax?
Who won that?
Bayley did.
Of course she did.
You retained.
Just clarifying.
Mine was Charlotte wins Fastlane because Charlotte Flair hadn't been defeated on pay-per-view until the pay-per-view at Fastlane prior to WrestleMania. Bayley beat her for the title. I'm like, no, have Bayley beat her at WrestleMania for the title. It means more. Yeah. But speaking of things that are very meaningful, it was the opener on that show. For WrestleMania 33, Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles.
This list is awesome.
So many WrestleManias.
This is amazing.
It's pretty impressive.
This is my favorite episode ever.
I'm gonna go with surprisingly entertaining match. Shane's best match, probably.
Literally word for word what I had in my head, Dave. I'm not a big AJ Styles guy, and I surprisingly entertaining match.
There we go.
Nick, let me guess. Expectedly entertaining match.
I was gonna go. Well, this is 4 words again, but I'm just gonna keep on going my 4. Why not? Regardless, but I'm gonna go best in the world because it was 2 of the best wrestlers in the whole world. Throwing down on the biggest stage at WrestleMania.
Best in the world.
Yeah, 1 word.
Like in this year. So the Shane hits keep on coming, baby.
Boy,
we go Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 34. Yeah. How you go from that to the Usos?
This is a great match too,
5 years is amazing.
I know it's a step down, definitely with fighting the Usos from Shane, but you see people could rise, and then you got to see him come down the other side of the mountain at some point and fall and stuff. So I'm sure Sammy looks back and says this is the highlight of his whole career. Probably like if you ask him, I'm sure.
Bigger match than him against Roman, I'll tell you that much.
Definitely, man.
Fighting the boss of Spin.
Unless they put Shane in there, triple threat.
I'll go. I'm gonna say Kevin, Sammy, Hart, I love them. I think I would love. Yeah, I mean, I saw on Twitter that they hugged on Raw.
They did. It was very emotional. They hugged on SmackDown, actually.
I didn't see any of the talking beforehand because no one wanted to post that apparently. But yeah, I love Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn so much.
Nick, how about you?
Another classic moment in the Shane McMahon WrestleMania history. We're going down here on the broadcast this week.
I'm gonna go with Shane's got diverticulitis. Never forget that, ladies and gentlemen. Because he had that, I forget what exactly the disease was, but he had it's called diverticulitis, and it was I feel it was some sort of muscle breathing. It was something weird, but he was in question to be in the match. So
was this before or after he was in a fiery helicopter crash and just ate that shit and walked out of it like Chuck Norris style? What?
John Wick man. There you go. So it's the last one on our list.
Shane McMahon versus.
I'm surprised you didn't go with Shane McMahon versus The Miz at WrestleMania 35, but instead
I thought that was at WrestleMania.
I was there for it. Shane McMahon versus Shane.
Well, let's talk about it.
Miz. No, we'll not. I went potty. So our next match for the WWE Championship, it's Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 35. Tom, why don't you go first?
I'm throwing out all the rules on this one.
Oh boy.
One of the most important moments in modern wrestling.
I completely agree with that. Really was.
What year was that?
2019.
So back into wrestling, Tom Sasso. I'm back into it. I'm loving it. I lost my shit when Kofi won. Yep. I remember that. I was so happy, and then when the New Day came out, it was
it made you feel feelings.
Yeah, I felt feelings. WWE does a really good job with keeping having champions of color. They've done a good job of it's not just your generic white dude being a champion or white woman being a champion, whatever. But this felt like a huge step in the this is the time we're in, and Kofi has been doing this for a really long time, and the build up to that, my God, I don't think they've done a build up like that until recently with the Roman Sammy stuff.
Yep, I agree.
Good Lord, Kofi Kingston, I just want to hug him. I want to give him a hug, say hi. The dude's brilliant. I was so happy for him.
Nick, what about you? What's your 3 words to describe it?
Well, I'm going to say lightning in a bottle. What I mean by that is every once in a while, they have something that's just super organic. I can only think of a couple ones, maybe the Yes Movement, or what they call, what is it, Kofi Mania.
Kofi Mania.
Even, the stuff that's going on with Sammy right now and stuff. It's stuff that they can't even write. It's just something. It just takes off and it just organically gets there. It's just Kofi was one of those times where it was his time. He's been put his dues in, and it was just good. Yeah, good stuff.
I'm going to let my shirt do the talking because I'm wearing the Calf Mania shirt because it took place again on April 7th in 2019. But I hope we can see this one up. But I was there, ladies and gentlemen. That's my 3 words. I was there for Kofi Mania. It made you feel all the feelings in the world. And speaking of me being there and feeling all the feelings in the world, ladies and gentlemen, it is the final stop on the Tom Says Highway to Mania. The time has come. There is only a little bit more room for talking, and it is time to hear from our competitors, Spaceman George and Tom Says Hi, Sasso.
Greetings, Earthlings. It is I, Spaceman George, King Spaceman George. And George comes to you reluctantly today because instead of cruising the galaxy with his best friend, Gerald the Puppet, who is at home recovering from a vicious attack last week from Tom on the broadcast, yes, instead of George, King Spaceman George, his best friend, Gerald the Puppet, and the rest of the intergalactic royal family out cruising the galaxy in a celebration of King George. No, instead of doing that, George is forced once again to return to a double planet that this is and defend his crown once again on the Tom Says Highway to WrestleMania. Well, let me tell you something, Tom. George doesn't drive. George flies, brother. And George is coming crashing down. But this time, he's not crashing down in Lake Michigan. No, this time, George is crashing down right smack dab in the middle of the highway. And when you come speeding up, Tom, George hopes you have good brakes. Because when you come speeding up, you're going to hit a spaceman-sized roadblock, Tom. End of the line. Highway's closed, Tom. And George is so tired of hearing about how tall Tom is. Even a giant is tiny in the shadow of a king. The king of the nerds. The master of the universe. The ruler of the galaxy. The King Spaceman George. George has beat every person that this planet has put before him. Imposter King DaveCTheVoice. George beat him so bad that he had to resort to being a referee to stay relevant. Harold the Puppet. George beat him so bad, George is still blowing blue fluff out of his space boot, brother. Dylan Shivers. George beat that dude so bad that that dude doesn't even show his face around here no more. And now Tom Says Hi has a dream that he's gonna beat George and become king. Wake up, Tom. Dream's over. George says bye. George says bye, Tom. George says bye. And long live the king.
Hi, it's Tom. I just want to show you a quick picture. That's a young Tom saying hi. I've been saying hi for a really long time. Spaceman George, I don't think I've ever said hi to you. I'm tired of you coming in here with that stupid French puppet, Gerald, acting like he's just the king of the world and he's got all this money and it's great. And I'm tired of never, ever, ever being given a shot. And we're giving a chance at the crown. The king of the nerds goes to someone who's not even a host of the show. Someone who I don't even know who he really is. Some mystical space creature named George. George, at WrestleMania, Tom is going to say bye to you. And Tom is going to say hi to King of the Nerd. Tom says hi, Sasso. It is my time to shine. I've been on this show for far too long to never have had a good shot at being the king. And I am excited, and I am happy, and I am freaking jacked up. So at WrestleMania, George, Tom says bye.